Alrighty, it's your boy Zxous, and we back with another goddess of victory Nikke video. I've been on TikTok too much. All right, y'all. So, today we are going to be talking about something that I guess I made a community post for this, right? So it's about the liberation, right? Because liberation came out, or not came out, but liberation is a thing, and obviously Nilister has been leaked to also be in liberation, and a lot of people are upset. And for me, that was surprising. Actually, it was very surprising that people were upset with liberation and Nilister being in there. You would think people would be excited for Nilister because she was going to be a free unit, right? But basically, I made a poll. I said, hey, comment down below why you dislike or you like liberation, and also vote yes or no. So we have 69% voted no, and then 31% voted yes out of 411 votes. This was 4 hours ago, so probably by tomorrow it'll be at 1K votes. Because usually these votes always get to 1K, right? Yeah, you can see these votes get to 1K now. Also, I didn't thank you guys, but thank you guys for 700 subscribers, right? Thank you guys for 700 subscribers. We're so close. We're so close to 1,000. It's crazy. It's been wild this past couple of weeks, right? Since I've come back. So let's take a look. So I've already read some of them. I've hearted them. There's some new ones that I didn't heart yet because I haven't seen them yet, but I did heart some of them already. So basically, let me give my opinion on liberation. So I actually do have liberation here. I do think liberation is a good feature. I do think in general it's a great feature, right? You get access to a free character. You do get access to a free character of your choice between Sin, Guilty, and Quincy. Now, out of the three, I think only Sin and Guilty are the two worth going for. Especially now if you have Biscuit, I feel like Sin has much more value. But in general, I think Guilty should be the one you're going for. The reason why I'm not going for Guilty on my free-to-play account and I'm going for Sin is because I want to have a showcase on Sin, and my free-to-play account by the time we get her should be built up enough. And also my global account is going to be having the Guilty already, which we're close to getting. So if you look at these missions, right, some of these missions are good, some of these missions are ridiculous. Like, there's some missions that say wipe out twice, right, which means you would have to wipe out the one time for free, and then you also have to wipe out again for 50 gems. Now, is that really a problem? No, but the fact that you have to spend gems, I don't want to really say it's a problem, because again, it's just 50 gems. Depending on how much times you get it, it's going to stack up. But let's just say it's 50 gems and it's still going towards a character, right? Simple missions like these, though, for 20 and 30 points, like purchase item in common shop 3 times. Now, unless you have the refresh thing, which I believe you get from the Tactic Academy. Like, for example, when I refresh, it costs 100. I believe there's a Tactics Academy that gives you a free refresh. But for me, this is not bad. Like 0, that counts as 1. I just buy this for what's it called, with credits, and I buy this with credits, and boom, now I've spent 3, right? These missions are not hard at all, right? The problem is it's going to take very, very long. I've never even actually done the calculations for thing. So let me come off my phone because again, I had TikTok open, heck. But let me see the calculations. How long will it take if I don't refresh at all? Because I'm a free to play. If I don't refresh at all, how long will it take for me to get Sin, right? From like the very beginning to the very end, right? I need 3,600 divided by 60. That will take me 60 days, which is 2 months. That's not bad. I mean, it is bad. 2 months is a long time. It is a long time. But at the end of the day, it's still a free character. Yes, it is over the course of 2 months, but it is still a free character, and that's something that I guess we can't really ignore. So I have to do it like this apparently, because if I don't know why, but for some reason, if I do it twice, it just won't give it to me. Biscuit is a character I plan on getting her rank up anyway, so there's that, right? So let's take a look at some of you guys' comments here, right? Let's come off my liberation and take a look at some of you guys' opinion, right? In general, I don't think liberation is that bad, but I think it's up and down for me, right? I think liberation has their perks, being that the character is free and you don't have to spend any gems, but I do think there's, a bit iffy things going on. The fact that it takes 2 months to get the character. If it was 2 weeks, by all means, sure, but 2 months to get one character is kind of crazy, and it is kind of hard to get their spare body parts because you get them from the Union raid or the Union shop, and we haven't had Union raid in I don't know how long, right? So Keep that in mind. But let's take a look at some of these comments here. So from the first comment from Sly, I simply can't believe how the devs are going down the canon route for Nilister's recruitment. I can't wait to see how the cutscenes play out. So, and then somebody also commented, I can imagine her making an unexpected visit at the outpost in her stories. So yeah, they're basically going behind the canon route, right? That's how I guess you can say the elevator works, right? For example, Sin, Guilty, and Quincy are prisoners that you have to, I guess, break free, right? That's the whole point of the liberation. You have to break them free, right? And then you own them. They will join you for breaking them free. Even though they're running, like the lore of the prison, like the lore behind them is that they run prison, right? They're in. If you've ever watched Baki, it's like I forgot his name, but if you ever watch Baki, there's a guy in prison who runs the prison. He actually controls the police and all that stuff, but he's a prisoner, right? And it's kind of the same thing with these girls. So it's kind of weird that it still takes 2 months to break a character who's already running the prison if it is going off a lore. So I do agree with there. The second guy, Steve here said, as long as you play, you will have it. I think it's good. It gives room for a free-to-play to grow. And there you go. That is another pro, right? It's a free character for a free-to-play. A very good character for free, right? Nilister is going to be a very good pilgrim that you're going to get for free. And hers is not even going to take long. Actually, it is going to take longer. Because hers is going to take 90 days for a free-to-play who does not refresh. 90 days is a very long. If you do refresh, it's going to take, if you get like unlucky the whole time, it's going to take you 60 days. That's like worst case scenario, but it's probably going to take you 45 to 60 days to get Nilister if you refresh every day. But worst case scenario, I guess best case scenario, I want to say around 40 days to 60 days. Best case scenario, worst case scenario, that's how long it's going to take. That's if you get like 30 30 30 every day, which you're not going to. If you get 10 10 10 every day, which you're not going to. But there are times where you can refresh and get 10 10 10, and refresh where you can get 30 30 30, or refresh and get 20 20 20 for the missions, right? It's not guaranteed 60 points when you refresh. So for free-to-plays, it is a nice way for free-to-plays to get a free good character. But again, 2 months, 3 months is a bit too long. And I do agree with that. I do think 2-3 months is a bit too long, regardless if it's free or not. So It's Run said it takes way too long as a free-to-play player just to obtain one liberation unit for 2 to 3 months. And that's right there. That's the key point right there. One liberation character. I feel like it would be different if it took 3 months to get 3 liberation characters. That would be fair. I think that's fair. It would take a couple months to... Nah. I don't want to say if that would be fair still. But if it was like I had to wait 2 to 3 months to get 3 free characters, 3 free good characters, I want to say... Quincy is not really that good, but 3 free characters, then I think that would be more understanding. I wouldn't still agree with it, but I think that'd be more understanding, right? Even pay-to-play players, it's still half the time to get, right? Which would be like a month and a half for free pay-to-play players who refresh every single day. I'm a pay-to-play, and I don't even refresh because there's just, at this point, it's not like I need Guilty. And that's something I want to talk about, and I'm going to talk about in a bit, right? But I don't need Guilty, but I want Guilty. But I've already made it to endgame without Guilty. So Guilty is not a character I need to have, right? But I think for a free-to-play, Guilty or Sin are great options. I'm mainly Guilty. Is a good option to start your account with, especially if you're re-rolling for Scarlet. It would be great if they could just give the free-to-plays these characters earlier on, right? Rather than them waiting 2-3 months. It's a bit much there. I'm not going to lie there. So... we have Sanchez here. I'm a big fan of getting content for playing the game. Only thing I have a problem with is how they distribute spare bodies. And that is true, right? For these liberation characters, you have to get them from the Union shop, like I said before. And that is a problem because we don't get Union shop mats like that. We don't even do Union raids or anything like that. We don't have those. So there is that as well. So from Cloud MV15, my problem with it is the submission requires gems to complete like 2 wipeouts. And I think I mentioned this earlier, but yeah, 50 gems for the wipeout. I don't really think that's much, but the fact that, I mean, I honestly don't have a problem with that, right? When you get those missions that say wipeout 2 times, I generally personally don't have a problem with that because it's technically, like, essentially, it's going to stack up depending on how much times you get it, but you're still spending less than a multi guaranteed to get her, right? But I don't want to say something like that because the whole point of these characters is that they're free. So keep that in mind. So from Corrupted Jet here, we got on one hand, it's nice not to not to rely on luck to get the character I want, but on the other hand, the time it takes to get the character is kind of long, and I do agree with that, right? But then again, it goes to how you depend, or it goes to what you prefer or what you value more, right? For example, let me take this to Nilister and come off of Quincy and them. For example, Nilister is a pilgrim, right? And people want her to be summonable. Now, what are the pros of her being a summonable character? It's going to be easier to get her dupes, and that's basically it. That's it. You can pity her. You can get her day one. Okay, you can get her day one. You can pity her, and you're going to be easier to get her dupes. That's the pros. The cons with her is that her rates are lower than the average limited banner character. So you could spend thousands of orbs. This is not bleach bracelets. You can spend thousands of gems and not pull her at all, right? Where in Liberation, you're guaranteed to get her for free, regardless of how long it takes. So it makes sense that you get her in Liberation for free. I think it makes the most sense. But how much is it? Wipeout is 50 gems, right? You get Wipeout 50 gems. You have 50 plus 50, 100. It depends how much times you get it. It's not like you're guaranteed that mission, so that doesn't really matter. What else do we got here? I've been told it's a comparatively short time. When you look at the other games that use similar systems, but yeah, I don't know any other games that have a system like this. I'm sure there are some, but I'm not aware of other games that have a system like this. I mean, I guess Naruto Online is a gacha game that has a system like this, I guess. Yeah, that's a one. But it takes 40 days to get the Nagato. I don't know if they changed that, but when I played years ago, I had to wait 40 days exactly to get the Nagato fragments, to get the character. Which is, I guess, the same thing here. You're not getting fragments, you're just doing the missions to get the character. So, there's that as well, right? Dennis here. Dennis said, my golden mileage tickets are ready, basically. So he was saving up golden mileage tickets for Nilister, but the moment he heard that she was a Liberation, disappointed him. And then again, that's what it is. Like, for example, you have the tickets for Nilister, but now you can't use it on her. But you can also see it like this, right? Even though you're now not going to get Nilister day one, think of it like this. Not only are you getting her for free, regardless of how long it takes to get her, but those same golden tickets you were planning on using to get that one copy of Nilister could now go to another pilgrim and you will have Nilister, right? And that's another thing, right? People are going to summon on this banner, realistically, do like 4-3 multis and then pull one copy of her, right? The only benefit you have from doing that is that you get her day one. But now with her being Liberation, she's kind of free. So for anybody who was only ever planning on going for one copy, you shouldn't really be disappointed because now you don't even have to spend your gems on the lister. You get it for free, and that one copy of that pilgrim you're chasing, you can use it on the next one. But let's see this. This is a newcomer right here. The Liberation system itself is not bad, but the amount of experience needed and the dupes of the characters is too bad. If there were weekly events, I would understand, but it is rare and that we get the currency. It is true. The most I've obtained is 4,000 compared to the 15 they asked for. It's absurd. Yeah. Okay, so he's talking about spare body parts here. Now, I don't think anybody should be worried. Like, I don't think much people should be worried about a Core 7 Nilister. Nilister doesn't seem like a character who needs dupes anyways, right? I mean, she's a DPS, so she does need dupes, but like you could definitely get the job done with a one dupe, right? Definitely. But like how much is Core 7? So that's 3 dupes to get an LB3 and then plus then 10 copies. Is that how it works? You need 10 copies. So you need a total of 11 copies to max out one unit completely. But that's just whale territory. There's no reason for you guys to go for it. If she was summonable, no reason for you guys pay to plays, regular like dolphins or free to plays to go for a Core 7. Doesn't make sense, right? Most free to plays would actually, the free to plays who are complaining would only ever go for one copy anyways. So I don't really think free to plays should complain in a sense that they're getting this character for free. rather than having to use your gems when you could just use those gems you were planning on using for the one copy of Nilister on the next Pilgrim and guaranteed to have Nilister. That's how I see it, at least, right? Is there any new comments? No. So yeah, those are... Oh, we got a sub. Let's see, we got a sub. Thank you, Chrono Silver. Yeah. So I think yeah, and then the rest are just everybody saying it takes too long. It takes too long. It takes too long. Yeah, it takes too long. And then obviously, like, the main problem is that it takes too long, and then that it's like hard to get the spare body dupes. I don't really want to talk much about the spare body dupes because, again, most of the people here would only go for one dupes, so you shouldn't really worry about the spare body dupe. Like, if she was a summonable character, you wouldn't worry about dupes, right? But because she's a free-to-play character, that's why you guys are worrying about dupes, right? I understand why, but if you actually think about it, it just doesn't make sense there, right? Most free-to-play players would go for one dupe, one copy of the character anyways, but now because she's free, you're complaining that you can't get the dupes that you wouldn't have went for if she was summonable. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make sense there. It kind of like you kind of play yourself there in a sense, right? Like whoever is complaining about or not getting the dupes, but was planning on getting one copy anyways, you kind of play yourself there, because if you were planning to get one copy of her when you were going to summon for her, why could you, or how could you be complaining that you're not getting dupes for a character you were gonna be satisfied for one copy with, right? But I understand why. She's a free character, you want the dupes. I understand, obviously, but it's just like, if you think about it like that, kind of doesn't make sense, right? So in a sense, I could understand why people dislike Liberation. I don't have a problem with it in general, because at the end of the day, free is free. I'm cheap. Free is free, so it's like, it's whatever. But you have time too for her. Now, to unlock Nilister, for example, you need to actually, I don't know if you have to own one of the past liberations, but you do need to have around 2,160 points of the old liberation. That's guaranteed. I don't know if you actually have to own the character. I'm assuming you just need to have 2,160 of any of the past liberations, and then you can just switch to Nilister and start working on her regardless. That's what I assume. You don't actually probably have to own the character, but I don't know. That's just an assumption, because it wouldn't make sense for it to say you must have 2,160 points rather than just saying you need 3,600 where you're guaranteed the character, right? So I don't know, but I think Liberation is not all that bad. Definitely let me know what you guys think if you did not place your opinion here, and go ahead and vote more on stuff like that. Let me know if you agree with my opinion, and that's gonna be it. I'm out. Peace.